Good morning, good morning, good morning, everyone. My name is Don Daniel. I am the founder of P.I.L.L Method International, a better way to eliminate debt. And for 18 years, we've been telling this story about how you don't have to pay all of that interest to the banks. Stop it. You can cut that interest cost by 75%. You can be more efficient with your money. In fact, the most inefficient way to pay back money on the planet is the way that we pay back loans today. When I say inefficient, too much of your money doesn't go where you want it to go. Where do you want it to go? You want it to pay off the debt. I'm trying to invite you up, Eric. So I'm inviting you to speak. All right. And all you have to do is answer. There you go. There you go. There he is. Come on up, everybody. We're going to be, I'm going to wait just a couple more minutes and let some folks come in, but I'm going to say good morning in the chat. So, Eric, how are you doing this morning? Hit that microphone in the lower right-hand corner. You can unmute if you can. You might be working. You know, some people come in and they listen to us while they're at work. All right. Even if you do that, come up to the stage anyway. Come on up. I see Chandra. I see Deborah. I see Travis. You need to go ahead and follow me and then follow the P.I.L.L method. Oh, look at you. Look at you. You're so kind. All right. Come on up. Come on up, everybody. Come on up. Raise your hand and I'll bring you up. Okay. If you're going to be in the audience, you might as well sit on the stage and listen. And just so happens you may hear something that might spark a question. Do you realize I do much better? I do much better with questions. So listen, at this point, we're just going to say good morning to everybody. Say good morning in the chat. If you are watching us online, okay, if you're watching us online, go ahead and say good morning there too. Oh, I can't hear you any longer. What's going on here? Why can't you hear me? Are you guys hearing me? Put something in the chat if you guys can hear me. Put something in the chat if you guys can hear me. Okay. All right. Thank you, Deborah. Appreciate you. All right. So there we are, ladies and gentlemen. We are good to go. We are good to go. So what we're going to be talking about today is using AI, artificial intelligence, to guide us on how to manage debt. All right. Al Johnson says good morning. He's watching us from on YouTube. Ian Pedley says good morning. He is, let me put this on the screen. All right. He's joining us from Australia. Al Johnson is here. He says good morning. Good morning. He says I can hear you. All right, Al. All right. So good morning to you all who are joining us online this morning. All right. And let me see here. All right. And view. All right. Actual size there. There we go. All right. So what else is going on? Okay. Oh, Al says he's in Texas. Where are you guys from? All right. Where are you guys from? Tell us where you're from. I'm right here in Huntsville, Alabama. And we are going to actually, I need to tell you now that next week we're going to have some replays next Wednesday. Hey, Jeffrey, how you doing today? Why don't you come up to the stage too? All right, you usually sit in the audience, but go and raise your hand and come to the stage and sit there and get this knowledge. But next week we're going to be doing a great show on Sunday. You don't want to miss Sunday's show. Okay, this show is going to be good today, but Sunday's show, I'm going to reveal some secrets about lending that I've never revealed before. Okay, some things that are going on. In fact, this stuff is so impactful that we should be calling the way that we do lending financial violence. It actually does violence to people, even though it's well accepted. I'm going to show you not only how violent it is towards us, but how even the experts are teaching it in a way that is just not right. Just not right. They're not looking at it right. So this tool to this amortization tool, the way to pay back these loans, this thing is so deceptive. It's crazy. And I'm going to let you in on a lot of the secrets here on Sunday. So sign up for that show so that you can be there. Let me get this. Hold on for just a second. Yeah, that key around my neck was bothering me, so I had to get that off. All right, folks. So let's go ahead and start it. Let's see where we're from. Okay, I got Deborah. She's here from Texas. All right, and all right. So Eric says he's going to go over on jump on YouTube. Oh, by the way, let me go ahead and put my YouTube link. All right. All right. Let me see here. So if you want to see some of the stuff that we're going to be talking about today, if you want to see that, I'm going to get the link here. Okay, we're going to copy the link and we're going to put that in the. Uh-oh, it's not letting me copy and paste. Hold on for a second. Let me fix that. Okay, copy and paste. There we go. And let me see, paste it here. Still won't let me. Let me try it one more time. All right, we're going to copy and paste the link for the YouTube channel. Copy. All right, copy link and put it in. There we go. I think I got it now. All right. And for now, I'm going to put it at the top of the room. I'm going to put it at the top of the room as well. Pin the link. There we go. There it is. So if you're in this room, if you're in watching, listening to us on Clubhouse, and you want to see what's going on, go to YouTube so that you can see what's happening. All right. So and says I am unique says good morning, watching us on YouTube, and so let's go ahead and share my screen today. What we're going to be talking about how AI can help you. How AI using computers to manage your debt and your finances is crucial these days because it's so complicated. So complicated. But if we could use AI to help us, we will be able to do more with our money. We'd be able to buy more using less. We'd be able to buy more using less because we're going to learn how to leverage money correctly. All right. So let me go ahead and put some things on the screen here so that you can see what I'm talking about. I'm going to add, all right, there we go. And I put that on there and let us change things up just a little bit so it looks a little better. All right. And there we go. There it is. Boom. Okay. So this is a, a situation where we have a gentleman who has over let's see here, $2 million worth of property, $2 million worth of property. And the interest that the bank wants is $1,123,000. $1,123,000, and wants them to take 21 years to pay off $2 million worth of debt. $2,236,376. Okay. That's a lot of debt, but the bank wants them to pay a lot of interest. $1,123,195. Now, the interest rates on these loans, one of the loans is 3.25%. The other loan is a 5% loan. So at 5% and 3.25%, you would, how do you pay $1,123,000 in interest on $2 million worth? This is like half. It's not 5%. It's not like 3.25%. Folks, this is like 50%. And so what we're going to do is we showed them how it could, hey, Michelle, how are you doing? Why don't you come up to the stage and sit there and sit and listen? Besides, you may have a question or two. All right. So go ahead and get on YouTube if you want to see this, ladies and gentlemen. But we're going to show them how to pay only $243,000 out to pay off $2 million worth of debt in 4.9 years. And the money here, and here's the best part, the money that he's not going to spend, on debt can be used to invest in other properties, turning it into, over the next 17 years, over $9,699,000. That's our projection. And it's a very good projection. You know why? Because this is at 1% return on his money. 1%. He's already used to making a lot more than that. This business person knows how to make more than 1% with his money. So if we can track how much interest he's saving, and over 17 years projected out, compound interest at 1% would turn into $9 million. How much money are we actually giving away? You, me, and everybody else. How much are we giving away when we find out that we're spending 75% more interest than we need to? We need a way not to do that. Michelle, how are you doing this morning?
I'm doing well. How about yourself?
Excellent. So I hope you're able to hang in there with us for a little bit. And if you have any questions, please do. Do you have a question or a comment at this point?
No, just keep doing what you're doing because we appreciate you so much for it. Thank you.
You're
I'm
so
gonna hang out.
well. Thank you for hanging out. We appreciate you. All right.
I appreciate you too. Thank you.
You're welcome. Hey, so listen. All right. Ian Pedley said that's too much. That is too much interest to pay. Too much interest to pay. So instead of paying $1,123,000, we're going to get that down to $243,000. And if this real estate investor wanted to, he could pay off everything in 4.9 years. Take that money, he's no longer paying in interest, and give it to the bank. Here's something. Here's another situation. All right. Here's one. This is $204,000 in debt. $204,000 in debt. And this is a brand new 30-year mortgage. So in the first, and this mortgage is at 4% interest, ladies and gentlemen. 4% interest. Okay. And in the first 5 years, here's how the bank wants this particular family to pay off their loan, all right, of $204,000. In the first 5 years, only $18,675.20 is going to principal. Now, this is something we do for every single client. All right. If you want to know what the P.I.L.L method can do for you, you can get one of these. In fact, not only can you get one of these where it's just one page, but you can get one that's 2 pages more detailed for free. All you have to do is go to ice10k.com, ice10k.com, and click on Get a Savings and Earnings Report, and you can get one of these for free. All right. And you will know the month, day, and year you could be debt free, how much interest you could save. All right. How many years you save, how much interest you don't have to pay. And then we're going to tell you the money that you don't have to give to the bank. If you wanted to, instead of just spending it, that you were going to give to them in interest anyway. Why don't you take that money and invest it in your own family, become your own bank, and in this case, turn it into $9 million. Here is another one. This one is, this is the first one I was telling you about. So you can get one of these. Go to ice10k.com and click on Get a Savings and Earnings Report. Let me go ahead and change that link out right now at the top. All right, we're going to put in ICE, stands for Interest Cancellation Expert, the number 10, the letter K.com. There it is. All right, so that's my digital business card. So click on that, get a savings and earnings report for free. All right, so now here's what we're looking at. $18,000 goes to principal. Okay, we're going to reduce how much this family owes by $18,000 in the first 5 years. But look how much interest they'll pay how much of their money is credited to interest. $37,325. 37,000 of their dollars that they're paying towards their mortgage, 37,000 of it goes to interest in the first 5 years. That's a total, ladies and gentlemen, of $56,000. $56,000 paid out, and only $18,675.20 actually reduces used to reduce their indebtedness. Isn't that crazy? That's a lot of money to pay out, and only and so little be credited to to pay off the loan. All right. So, how much interest does the bank want in total on this loan? How much? $143,000. $143,000. I need you to focus in on this right now, ladies and gentlemen. Look at this. In the first 5 years, $37,325 would go to interest. To pay off this loan in 7.5 years, they're only going to pay out $41,000 to manage their $204,000 in debt. Ladies and gentlemen, they're going to be saving over $100,000 in interest they don't have to pay. What? And they'll be done in 7.5 years. Why is it that we know so little about debt that we just take it for granted? It takes 30 years to pay off $204,000. Now, some of you live in cities where you see expensive cars all the time. I remember when I first saw my first Bentley and my first Rolls Royce and my first Lamborghini. I remember where I was when I saw all of these cars lined up. Okay, listen, some of those cars cost more than $200,000, but guess what? It takes 7 years to pay them off. You can't get a 30-year note on a $200,000 car. It has to be paid off in 7 or 8 years. It has to. But why is it that a $200,000 house takes 30 years to pay off? That's ridiculous. We can show you how to pay off all of your debt by using AI to do it a lot faster and cheaper. And then show you how you could take the money that was going to the bank and turn it in fact, to this particular couple, they could turn that money into $815,000 that they could earn with that money instead of giving it to the bank. Now, here's what would happen. You see this $815,000 right here? By the time they're done paying off this loan in 30 years, doing it the bank's way, that $815,000 does not even exist. There's no way. I'm telling you, the money that they're not giving the bank will do this. So, isn't that something to think about? That you're giving the bank money that they are going to invest, and this is at 1% return on the money, and you know the bank is going to be making a lot more than $800,000 with their money. Why don't they make over $800,000 with their money? That's what I'm trying to say. That's what I'm talking about. Deborah Gillard, watching us on YouTube, this is what she has to say. Says, you are making so much sense. So much sense. Listen, folks, we need to know more about how this thing works. I got another. Can I show you another example? Let me put another example on the screen. Oh, and let me, if you want to know more about what we're doing, I'm going to put something on the screen. So let me put a banner on the screen. Hi, LaTanya. Good to have you here. Listen, if you guys want to come up to the stage, you don't have to say anything if you don't want to, but raise your hand, come to the stage. It helps to populate the room. All right. And share the room as well. All right. So I got to put a banner on right now. Hold on. Let me see. All right. Go to, there it is. I'm going to put that across. Go to ice10k.com to get a savings and earnings report. There you are. All right. And when you go to YouTube to watch this, make sure you subscribe. Subscribe. Here's another one. Okay. Here's a client example. This one is $156,000. $156,000, but it's a brand new loan as well. It's at 4%. But in the first 5 years on this loan, look, this family would only pay this loan down by $14,949.52. And pay $29,879 in interest in the first 5 years. Oh, you know what? I was making a point on the old one. Let me go back to this other one because this is a good point. All right. We're going to come back to this one in just a second. But I wanted to show you this. Do you see how much interest the bank wants from them in the first 5 years just to pay off $18,000? $37,325. That's what, if you follow the bank's plan, that's what they'll have you to do. Okay. But we're going to show you, instead of giving them $37,000 to pay off $18,000, how about paying out just $41,000, just a little bit more, so that you can pay off the $204,000 in 7.5 years. The bank wants $37,000 in the first 5 years to pay off 18 grand. I'm saying use $41,000 to pay off everything in 7.5. That's what could be done. Keep that in mind, ladies and gentlemen. Use your money to do what you want it to do, to pay down the debt, not give it to the bank in interest earnings. You don't have to do that. You don't. Here's another example, and then I'll jump into how we're using AI to fix everything. Okay, so now here's an example where they're paying $14,900 in the first 5 years, and it costs them nearly $30,000 in interest to do it. Okay, that's a total of $44,000 paid out in the first 5 years. Or they could take 6.7 years, use $28,000 to pay off everything. Lord have mercy. What's going on here? $29,000 in the first 5 years to pay off $15,000, or pay $28,000 to pay off $156,000 in 6.7. Which sounds better to you? We see this at the P.I.L.L method over and over and over again. Over and over again. All right. So listen, I'm going to let me pull this up. New window, and we are going to get into, I'm going to show you something with our AI system, how this works. All right. You're going to be amazed at how it works. And it's so much different from using the debt snowball or the avalanche methods. All right. The debt snowball or the avalanche methods, because the debt snowball and the avalanche methods, they don't keep track of how much interest you're paying. And it's the interest that makes all the difference. It's the interest that makes all the difference. Oh, wait, folks, come on. I got several people in here in the audience. Raise your hand, come to the stage. Come on up. Come on up. Come on up to the stage. Can I get two people to come to the stage so I can keep talking? So Michelle is up here all by herself. You don't have to say anything. I just want people to come to the stage so that it helps to populate the room. It really does. It really does. Can I get two volunteers to come up? Jeffrey, Moses, Rhonda, Deborah, Latanya. Can I get you to come up? Raise your hand, come up to the stage. No? Come on. Come on. I don't bite. I promise. I promise I don't bite. All right. So here we go. Let me bring this over. Let me bring this over here. All right. There you go. Thank you. All right. And thank you. Come on up. All right. So we got two volunteers. Thank you very much. All right. Deborah, I tried to invite you up. All right. She said can't join right now. Maybe later. Thanks. Okay. Well, anyway, maybe you hit the wrong button. So you don't have to say anything. You can just come up and there you go. She hit the wrong button. All right. There we go. Now, if you want to say something, flash your mic right now, if you can. All right. Flash your mic if you want to say good morning to everybody. Or good morning to me, but I'll say good morning to you. Thank you for being here. Because you're here, people are going to now see that you're here and come in. All right. So now let me pull this over here to the screen. If you want to see what we're doing, you can watch us on, some of you are watching us on YouTube, and some of you are watching us on Facebook, but that's okay. All right. So let me go here. I'm going to reset this. And this family's name is John and Rebecca Jones. Okay, John and Rebecca Jones. And we're going to reset the program here to this one. It's very simple. So we're going to show you what's going on with their finances. I need you to zero in on what is actually happening. Now, let's talk about how debt elimination is being taught right now. The debt snowball works like this. You figure out how much extra money you can put on debt every month. Okay. And you find the smallest debt, you find the smallest one, and you start attacking that. All right. And pretty soon that debt is paid off. So now that extra money that you are putting on and the minimum payment on the debt you just paid off, all right, which was already a part of your budget, you snowball that together, and then you start attacking the next smallest debt. All right. And you keep doing that. When you pay off the next smallest debt, now you snowball that money, that minimum payment that you used to pay on that one, into your snowball, and then you start attacking the next smallest debt. Now, I'm not saying it doesn't work. The debt snowball does definitely work. I'm just saying it's not efficient. It works, but it's not efficient. Now, why do we have to worry about efficiency? Because we need to worry about how much things cost, don't we? Listen, folks, let me ask you, if you like grapes, some of you like grapes, all right? But if grapes cost $10 a pound this week, are you buying grapes? Yes or no? If grapes are $10 a pound, all right, and Moses wants to know, please, how can this work for England? I have clients in England already, Moses. I have clients in England already, and I already know that. So you're about 6 hours ahead of me because I have clients in England already. It does work there. So instead of dollars, We just we just say pounds. So Moses, as you watch this, as you watch in this on online, when you see the numbers, all right, just trade the word pounds for dollars. Just take that out. It works exactly the same way. All right. Because the amortization schedule that they use in the UK, all right, the amortization schedule that they use in the UK, we use the same one here. The way that interest is calculated in the UK is the same way it's calculated in Germany, in France, in the US, in Jamaica, in Bermuda. The formula is the same, practically all over the world, and it works. It flat out works when you understand how the whole thing comes together and what you can do about it. So thank you very much for being here from the UK, Moses. All right. Bam just entered the room. And Bam, I'm just trying to get some people to populate the stage. You don't have to say anything, but we'll invite him up anyway. And we're going to ask him, Bam, how are you doing this morning?
I am great, Ice. I am grateful, Ice. And I am honored to be able to sit on your stage at 5:34 a.m. on the best coast. Yes, that's the West Coast. I'm done speaking. Bam!
All right, Bam. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being here. Ladies and gentlemen, I need you to understand that we're going to be here on Sunday. I got to keep repeating that. Okay. I got to keep repeating that because our show on Sunday, we're going to be revealing some secrets about this debt. I'm going to show you some things today. All right. I'll show you some things today, but our show on Sunday is going to be amazing. All right. On and what it's going to be talking about is that modern mortgage lending is financial violence. Modern mortgage lending is financial violence. And you know, we don't even know we're being violated. We don't even know we're being violated. I'm going to point out to you what's going on and why some of the experts are actually telling you it's wise not to pay off your mortgage and to take money and invest it. Okay? Don't pay off your mortgage because it's cheap money. I'm going to blow all of that out of the water because the math that they are using is correct. The way that they're applying it is not correct. The math is correct, but the way that they're applying it to an amortization schedule is incorrect. And I'm going to point all of that out to you and why it's so easy to miss these points. We're going to break the amortization schedule down for you on Sunday, and we're going to show you how modern mortgage lending is actually financial violence. You don't want to miss that show on Sunday. So let's get back to the screen. If you're new to the room, go to, I've got the link in the chat. We're going to copy it again. I'm going to copy it and put it in the chat so you can see it easier. Paste. There you go. So that you can see what we're doing on screen. You can go to YouTube, search for P.I.L.L method, click on the live presentation so that you can see it. And while you're there, go ahead and subscribe, like the videos, and comment. All right. As you do that, that helps us. So here's John and Rebecca Jones. What are we doing instead of the debt snowball? What are we doing instead of the debt snowball? Here's what we're doing. We're taking a look at all of the income. So I'm going to go to the budget tab, and show you what's going on here with their income. John gets paid. Let me make this just a little bit bigger. John gets paid bi-weekly, $950. Rebecca gets paid weekly, $700. Okay. The average that they have is $5,000 $1,091.66. That's the average for the month of their income. Their average expenses for the month. Now, why do I say average expenses? Because expenses always fluctuate. All right, you don't pay the same thing for gasoline for this month as you do the previous month. It's always different. Who pays the same amount for unless you're on the budget plan? Your electricity bill changes all the time. All right. The number of times you go out to eat in a month may differ. So how much money you're spending and how much money you're making always changes. So when you can, and if you spend the money, you can also use it to leverage against the debt so that you could pay less interest. So what the program does is it takes a look at everything that John and Rebecca are making, and we keep track of everything that they're spending, and their average discretionary is $1,332.15. That's the average. Now, next month, they may spend less. They'll have a little bit more discretionary income. And the month after that, they may spend more because now when they took their car in to be serviced for their oil change and tire rotation, they just found out now they got to change the cabin air filters, and that's kind of expensive. They got to do the wiper blades. Oh, and by the way, they need new front brake pads. They weren't counting on that, but it's part of what they have to do to maintain the car. So their expenses next month may be higher, so they'll have less money available. So that's kind of what we're doing there, and helping people to understand, tracking how much money they're spending and how much money they're making. All right. So so that's how we do that. So if we go back to the action plan, this is where we track all the spending. Now, let me tell you this right now. The way to get out of debt is not to live like a pauper. That's another fallacy. There's a guy in Nashville, Tennessee that says you can't go anywhere, can't do anything. You got to drive a 30-year-old car. You need to cut up your credit cards. You got to sell pizzas at night. You got to do all of these things to get out of debt, and take all of that money and throw it at the debt. And once you paid off all your debt, then you can start living. Do you know most people drop out of that idea? Most people drop out of a system that does that to them, because after a while, psychologically, you begin to feel all I'm doing is working to pay bills. And then once you get that feeling gets so intense, then you just go out and splurge. You spend more than you would if you had just planned a small part of your budget just to go out and spend it any way you like. Make it part of your budget to live well. Make it part of your budget to so that you can have some fun in life, so that you can help create memories for your family and for your children. All right. Make it part of your regular budget. So budget does not mean restricting. Budget means we're just going to track it. So when John gets paid, watch this. When John gets paid, he's going to tell the program, I got paid $950. He's just going to tell the program, I got paid $950. When he tells the program he's got paid $950, that goes into his, let me see here, into his virtual checking account. Virtual checking account. All right. Now he has $1,450 in his virtual checking account. Here's where he started. Okay. He started out with a start balance of $500. And then he just put $950 in. Now he has $1,450. But this mirrors what he has at his bank at Wells Fargo or whatever bank he's using. Okay. So the program is a mirror of what is actually going on in real life at the bank. So the program knows how much he has in the bank because John told the program how much he just received. So what happens next? Oh, look here. We have to do things by the date. If we look over here to the left, we can see that because we're starting in July, July 1st. Oh, it's time to pay the mortgage. Do John and Rebecca Jones have enough money in the bank to pay their mortgage now? Well, if we go back to the accounts, we can see they have $1,450 in the bank. Their mortgage payment is $1,199.10. Yes. So when they pay their mortgage, guess what's going to happen to their money in the bank? The $1,199.10 is going to get subtracted from the bank. So we have to subtract the same amount from their virtual checking account in the program. So we just tell the program that. So it's point and click, point and click. So now they have $200 for the utilities. We do the same. That's subtracted. But oh, look here. On the 5th, Rebecca gets a paycheck of $700. And then they will just click on that and tell the program, we have just received $700. Now, what's going to happen after that? I need you to pay attention to these little arrows in the middle here. This is the program doing the math that says on the 5th of the month. Well, it always changes, but don't get the idea that what you see here happens for everybody on the same days. That's not what we're talking about. So people ask me all the time, Don, what day should I do these things? The correct answer is I don't know. It is whatever makes sense. Whatever is going to help you the most. Those are the days and those are the amounts of money that we need to focus on. And the program will do the math for you. So now so the program says in your checking account, you need to move from checking to your savings $100.90. Why is that? Because you've put all your expenses in and the program has told you that there's $100.90 that you don't need for any other purpose. Take that money and put it in your savings account. And then next pay the phone bill. Rebecca gets another check because she gets paid weekly. And now John and Rebecca Jones have $590.49 in their checking account that they don't need for anything else. Go ahead and put that in your savings. So what begins to happen is that you start to pay your bills and you start to build up your savings account quicker and more efficiently because it's become part of the plan. What happens with most of us, we're not tracking how much we're spending, and therefore we spend too much. We spend beyond the bills, and it feels like paycheck to paycheck. It feels like paycheck to paycheck, but it's not actually paycheck to paycheck because what we're doing is we're tracking our spending, we're paying our bills, and once the bills are paid, we are able to put the extra money in our savings account, the money that's left over. So Don, well, what about having some fun? What about the money that you just talked about? Let me show you something here. Do you see where it says unitemized budget? Unitemized budget means I can do this is all-purpose money. Unitemized means all-purpose. I mean that's where they have some of their spending money just to spend on the family. They can spend $1,300 a month, $1,300 a month, and still be able to do what they need to do financially. So what is it that they need to do financially? We started tracking. So what do they have to work with? Let me go to accounts and let me show you what they're trying to do here. They have a mortgage. They have a mortgage of $200,000 at 6%. They have a credit card with $2,000 on it at 21%. And they have a balance on their car loan of $25,000 at 4%. Because of the way that they're tracking, and they can spend $1,300 a month, okay, every single month, they're still able to save $179,923 in interest they don't have to pay. Look in the upper right-hand window here. 179,000. This is what the AI system has already figured out way ahead of time. They're going to save $179,923 overall. And because of that, they'll be able to get out of debt in 7.7 years. Yeah, that part. 7.7 years. Just by telling the program how much you're spending and how much you're making. And then the program says, you know what? This month, we're just going to make minimum payment on the Visa, which is $50. What? Your program says make minimum payments? Yeah, make minimum payments on the Visa, $50. Minimum payment on the auto loan, $460.41. That's it. And on your mortgage, which is $1,199.10, make minimum payments on that too. Yeah, make minimum payments now. So why is the program doing that? And if you're, hello, doctor, how are you doing this morning? If you want to see what we're doing, I put the link to our YouTube channel in the chat. You can pull it up on a separate phone, a laptop, or iPad or something, and watch us live on YouTube. And if you want, you can watch us live on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, and LinkedIn. All right. But we're trying to grow our YouTube audience. So when you get to YouTube, go ahead and subscribe. But if you want to see these numbers, they're going to be right there. All right. They're going to be right there. All right. I see you, William. Come up to the stage. Listen, all you heavy hitters out there, raise your hand, come to the stage. You don't have to say anything, but just come to the stage. Okay. I see you, William. You cannot stay in the audience, William. Come on. Raise your hand. Come on up. There you go. I love it. All right. So come up to the stage, listen to this information we have for you, and look at this on YouTube. All right. And then subscribe. Now, here's what's happening. We're making minimum payments because it's important, ladies and gentlemen, to put the right amount of money on the right debt in the right month on the right day of the month. Because what we're trying to do is not just save some interest. We want to save the most interest that's mathematically possible for any individual. And I'll be able to show you a little bit about that once we study what's really happening with an amortization schedule. And we're going to get deeper into that subject on Sunday, where we show you how modern mortgage lending is actually financial violence. Oh my gosh. We're going to reveal some secrets then. So watch this. So now here we are. We're putting money away in the savings account. We're putting money away in the savings account, and we're making minimum payments to the debt while we're still having some fun every month because we get to spend some money just on the family. Listen, you got it all. You got it all right here, right now. This is what's happening. So Don, when do we get to put money on the debt? When do we get to put money on the debt? So when do we get to get out of debt? How are we going to get out of debt in 7.7 years if we're just making minimum payments? Yeah. You're going to take some money out of savings. Now, let me tell you this. Let me ask you a question. If you follow other programs, they're telling you need to put this in a spreadsheet, and you figure out how much you want to put towards the debt. Let's say it's $500. And I've got a person that told me the other day, they put an extra $1,000 on their mortgage every month. An extra $1,000 on their mortgage every single month. Yeah. Not every month. It's not going to happen every month. You know why? Because life gets in the way. When we have to fly the whole family last minute across country to say goodbye to Aunt Martha, before she leaves this world, we're not putting an extra $1,000 on the mortgage that month. It's not going to happen. Okay. So if you're trying to figure this out on a spreadsheet is so unforgiving, because if you tell your spreadsheet, I'm going to do this every month, and every month you don't do it, you get further and further behind. So here's what we need to do. We need a program that's more dynamic, that flows and moves with you, so that when life happens, it can come up with a new plan for you immediately. So watch this. So the program is saying, based on your spending habit, we're not putting money, we're starting in July, but we're not putting extra money on the debt this month. But, by August 16, we should have $2,569 in our savings account that we can apply to debt. Now, let me ask you something. Everybody that's listening to me online and in Clubhouse. Is it easier to come up with a plan where you're going to put $500 extra on debt or $1,000 extra on debt every single month, and the months that you can't do it, you feel defeated. You feel like, I can't keep to this plan because life gets in the way? Or would it be better to say, whatever money is left over, let's put that in a savings account. And when that savings account hits a certain point for our family, the program is going to kick in and say, take some of that money that's in your savings account and apply it to the debt. Which is easier? Picking out an arbitrary number and trying to do that every single month, or a system that says, whatever you have left, put it in the savings account, and when it hits that certain amount, we're going to take that money and apply it to the debt. Which one is better? You see what I'm talking about? That's kind of what we're doing here. So the program says, by this time, if we follow this program, John and Rebecca Jones will have at least $2,569 in their savings account that they can pull out. And it doesn't affect their monthly budget and the things that they want to do. Their monthly budget is the monthly budget, especially the money that they need to spend on themselves, without reducing the monthly budget. That stays the same. Anything that's left puts in the savings account. So taking money out of the savings account, it doesn't feel like a sacrifice. You see where we're going with that? It doesn't feel like a sacrifice to do that. So we pull that money out, and we're going to go down here and take a look at something. Look here. Remember that Visa card I said we're only going to put minimum payment on? We have the money saved up in the bank. So the program says, take money from your savings account and apply it to the Visa and pay it to zero. Take money and then the rest of the money, take it and apply it to the mortgage payment. So here's what you're doing. The mortgage is due on the first of the month. The regular mortgage payment is due on the first of the month, $1,199.10. We pay that, but we go down here, and by the time we reach the 16th of August, we'll be able to put $548.05 on the mortgage that month, on principal only. For an extra $500 in your savings account, I want to show you what happens. You put that on the mortgage. That means that is 1,000. I click on the wrong one. We want to go down to the mortgage. All right. Well, this one here. We want to execute that one. $548.05 goes to mortgage principal. We're going to save $2,705 in interest. You don't have to pay the bank now. Now, what does that really mean? If John and Rebecca Jones pay their mortgage every single month, because with a $200,000 mortgage at 6%, they only have about $200 going to principal every month, while nearly $1,000 goes to interest. Okay. So by paying their loan down by $548.05, doing it the bank's way, that means that they also have to give the bank $2,705 in interest to give them the 548. But if they pay it ahead of time, if they pay that money ahead of time, they pay it according to their own plan, their own timing, and not the bank's timing. They save $2,705 in interest they never have to pay. What do you guys think about that? How does that look to you? And how easy was it to take money out of savings and apply it? To take money out of savings and apply it. If you're new to the room, got some new people coming in. I see you popping in. Well, you can't see the screen if you're on just on Clubhouse, but go to YouTube. I have the link in the chat. Go to YouTube and you can see the link in the chat. So I'm going to stop right here. Everybody understand where we're going with this so far? Do I have any questions or any comments from anybody on the stage? Any questions or any comments from anybody on the stage?
I think it's amazing, guys. Thank you so much.
You're
See
welcome.
where you're going with it.
You're welcome, Michelle. You're welcome. Anybody else on the stage have a question or comment? All right. So I'm assuming, because I'm not getting any questions online. All right. Let me take a look online. All right. Let me see here. Ian Pedley says, what time on Sunday? Okay. It is going to be at 9:30 a.m. Eastern time. It is 8:30 a.m. Central time that we will be live. But if you can't be there live, make sure you catch the replay. I mean, we're going to have it up. You can get the replays on Clubhouse, on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn. There's so many different places where once we do this show, it's the replays are going to be all over the place that you can be able to see this. And we usually do 2 hours on Sunday. I just have a feeling that the amount of information we're going to reveal about the financial violence that's actually going on with these loans, that we're going to have so much comment that we might have to do an extended show. So just plan to be there for longer than 2 hours, because I think once I start revealing these secrets about how these loans are actually violent, I don't care what the interest rate is. The interest rate can be 2%, can be 3%. Right now, interest rates are getting to 8%. But I don't care. I don't care what the interest rate is. The interest rate has always been a liar. It is the interest cost we need to pay attention to, and not the interest rate. Interest rate is a deception. It is sleight of hand. What's really happening is that it lets the bank dip into your pocket too many times to pull out interest money that benefits them, while you're feeling you're doing okay by making this mortgage payment that fits in your budget. I'm going to show you how violent that system is, and we're going to break down the numbers for you on Sunday. You don't want to miss that. So, ladies and gentlemen, so if look, we've got this $2,000 in interest savings over here, and then the program goes right back to doing what it was doing before. So why don't I run through, if you want to see how this works, I'm going to reset the program. Okay, we're going to reset, and we're going to start over, and I'm going to go through an actual scenario where we're knocking out 2 or 3 months in a row. All right, we're going to reset the account and start over and show you how John and Rebecca Jones are attacking this debt and see what happens. Okay, so to recap, we're going to take a look at their budget. They have $950 coming in bi-weekly. They have $700 coming in weekly. They have a total of $500 I'm sorry, $5,091.66 on average coming into their bank account each month. So they're not rich. All right. So that let's dispel that myth right now. You need to have a lot of money to get out of debt faster. No, you don't. What you need is to pay less interest. That's what you need. Okay. You need to pay less interest. So if you and once we look at their average expenses, 3,759.51, then they have about $1,300 left over each month. That's what we're going to use to put into building up their reserve account to attack the debt with out of the reserves, not out of their fund money, not out of their bill money, not out of their vacation money. Okay. They're not driving an old 30-year-old car. All right. They're driving a decent car. They're driving a good car. All right. But not this whole idea of living like paupers just to get out of debt. No, we don't want to do that. We don't want to live like that. So now let's take a look at their accounts. They have $500 in savings, right? In their checking account. They have $5,000, a little over $5,000 in their savings account right now. Okay. They have a auto loan of $25,000 at 4%. Their payment is $460. They have a Visa, $2,000 is on it at 21%. And they have a $200,000 mortgage at 6%. The program has already done the math. It says you're going to be out of debt because you're not going to give the bank $179,923 that they're looking for. How would you like to know that ahead of time? How you doing, Miss Sandra? I see you in there. Come up to the stage. Everybody that knows me should be sitting on the stage. If you know me personally, raise your hand, come to the stage. Okay. All right. But you don't have to say anything. Just populate the stage. That helps more people come in. All right. Raise your hand, come to the stage. I'm going to invite her up. All right. She's amazing. All right. She's the only person I know that does this. You know what? If you're in, you need to look at her profile. Look at Siandra's profile. And if you're in her area, and if you love your pet, she does pet grooming, mobile pet grooming. She comes to you. Amazing. Read her bio. See Andrew down there. Okay. Followed by the speakers. All right. Amazing stuff that she does. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So let's get back to the story here. So now I'm going to go through a couple of months here so that you can see, but I'm not going to click on everything individually because that would take too much time. I'm going to click on one of the buttons that says select the entire month. And then I'm going to click where it says execute multiple things at one time. So we're looking at this and all the things that we need to take care of for the month. Oh, by the way, I want to show you something. Their utility bill, they're expected to pay on the utility bill $200. But what if their utility bill is only $150? They can change it right here, which gives them an extra $50 to cancel interest with. What? Yeah, along the way, if you have a certain amount set aside for the bills, and if you don't spend all of that money, then the program will direct you to put that extra $50 in savings so that you can attack even more debt, save more interest with that leftover money. It is powerful what that will do. If I were to show you the breakdown, how $200 on their mortgage could save them about $1,000 in interest, that would be amazing. So if $200 will save $1,000 in interest, that means half the money, $100, would save about $500 in interest. Okay. All right. Then if they have $50 left over, half the 100, then that means that $50 can actually save them $250 in interest. They never have to pay the bank. You see, once you know what your money can do, you can come up with a lot of different scenarios so that you don't have to give them all that money to the bank. The more interest you pay, the longer you stay in debt. Okay. We cut that interest cost way down and you can get out of debt a lot cheaper. Okay. So here's what we're doing. So we're going to tell the program we're going to do that. Pay $50 less, and the program will go ahead and adjust. And then we click execute for the entire month of July. And the entire month of July is now gone. Now we're in August. Okay. We're in August. And we're going to do the same thing. All right. Do you see? We didn't put any extra money on debt in July. No extra money went to debt in July. And now we're in August. So we're going to just go down to and do the whole month of August now. And I need to point out first, now remember, we're going to pay, we're going to have $2,619 that's going to go to debt on August 16, on August 16. All right. So we're going to do all the whole month of August, select the month. We're going to, now this month, we're going to pay all the well, let's see. Let me show you something here. Let's stop. Okay. Let's stop. Let me clear this. Remember, I showed you got $2,619 that's going to debt. What if instead of $200, all right, we're going to execute that. Instead of $200 going to the debt, going to the electric bill, we only spent $175 this month. There's $25 remaining. I want to see what would happen to this $2,619 that the program is planning to put on the debt. All right. If we tell the program, you know what, we have an extra $25. So we execute that. Oh, look here. Now we can put $2,644. We can actually put more money on the debt because our electric bill wasn't as high as we thought it was going to be. So now let's take a look at the entire month of August. And we're going to pay off we're going to pay all of our bills in August. We're going to execute multiples, take care of everything in August, and watch what happens. Because we're putting extra money we're paying off the credit card and we're putting extra money on the mortgage that month. Look at this. The actual amount of interest that we've already saved in just 2 months of being on this program is $4,919 in interest we never have to pay the bank because we chose the timing. If the bank chooses the timing to pay off the same amount of debt, if the bank chooses the timing, you will also have to give them $4,919 in interest because you followed their timing. When you give the money back to the bank in your own timing, you save that interest. Does that make sense to everybody? All right. So let me see here. Do we have any other comments, any questions in the chat? I'm looking through there. I don't seeing anything. Ian Pedley says it's all good. All right. We appreciate you. All right. Any questions or any comments about what we've seen so far about how this works? Now we're down to 7.5 years. We started out at 7.7. All right. Well, let me see here. So once we did that, all right, we took some money out of the bank to pay off the debt, but we only took so much out of the bank. I want to show you something. They paid off their entire credit card and put an extra amount on the debt, on their mortgage, okay? An extra payment on their mortgage. And if you want to see what they paid, you can go to the history. All right? They put an extra $623.05 out of their savings account on the mortgage that month and paid off their credit card completely. I want to show you something in their accounts. They still have $4,752 in interest. How many of you can pay off that credit card, $2,000, pay it all off, and put an extra $600 on the mortgage in 1 month and still have $4,752 in the bank still, And, I'm not done yet. And their unitemized budget is still $1,300 a month that they can spend every month. $1,300 is there. Listen, they're not living like paupers. They're living well and they're enjoying life. They're just tracking their money and letting AI come up with a certain amount of money to put on the debt. Now, wouldn't it have been better? They've got over $4,000 still in the bank. Why didn't the program put more money on the debt? Why did it stop at, let me go back. Let me take a look at that. Okay. Why did it stop there? Let's take a look at the history again. And let me make this a little bigger so you guys can see it. All right. This is how much they put on the debt. $623.05. No more, no less. Why 5 cents? Why 623.05? Everything you do is about what am I getting for my money? When you go to the store, you're buying things per pound. Beef costs so much per pound. Salmon costs so much per pound. Even raisins cost so much per pound. Grapes, food, so when you buy gasoline, it's so much, you're paying so much per gallon. And you pay more attention to saving 2 to 5 cents per gallon on gas than you deal with the huge amounts of money and interest you're giving the bank. So the program says to get the biggest bang out of your buck. Now, this is called, if you're making notes and if you want to look up some of these terms, look up critical point analysis. Critical point analysis means how much energy or how much effort or how much do I pay or how much can I do to get maximum output. All right. So we're looking always for the least amount I can put on something to get the maximum amount of output or the maximum amount of outcome that I'm looking for. So what is the least amount of money I can put on the debt so that I can eliminate the maximum amount of interest that I can per dollar? So why then is that important? It just seems to us that the more money you can put on the debt, the faster you get out of debt. It's got to be better. More has to be better. I don't know. You like jerk chicken? Can too much jerk seasoning ruin the chicken? What? Listen, have you ever made greens? Can too much salt in the greens mess up the greens? Oh, by the way, go ahead and, hey, Coffee Brown, what are you doing in the audience? Putting your hearts up. You better bring yourself up to the stage and say something down there. Listen, can too much salt ruin the greens? I'll tell you what, we put too much salt in the greens one time. There is a way to fix it. All right. Now, you've got to put your greens in some new water. All right. And the salt in the greens, all right, because there's less salt in the water outside the greens, will pull out the excess salt out of your greens and save your dish. You don't have to go out and buy more greens. All right. Coffee Brown, how are you doing this morning?
Hey, Don, how are you?
It's long time no see.
Yes, my work schedule is just beating me up. So I have been really, really crazy with all these projects and stuff. So I kind of hid from them today.
I love it. Oh my goodness. We're talking, listen, I've been telling everybody we got a special show coming up on Sunday, how the modern day lending is financial violence. And we're going to be revealing some secrets that we've never revealed online before this Sunday.
I love it, Don. Don, I got a question for you. What do you think about this proposed shutdown that's supposed to happen on Sunday?
Listen, here's what I think about that. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, Some of you are so fortunate to be in the position you're in. Okay. Now I'm in business. And do you know that I have expenses every single month? I've got, and I mean big time expenses every single month. But if there's a government shutdown, are people going to be spending money with me? If it's an extended shutdown, okay? What if I was in California and my business depended on people in the entertainment industry? Would that affect me as well? Okay, would that affect me? So, folks, my business depends on people who want to be able to get out of debt, and they pay us for the service. If there's an extended shutdown, coffee, can people do business with me? I'm just asking.
Absolutely.
Okay. You see? So here's what I need you to do. Need you to think about, folks, is this. If I did not have reserves during the good times, okay, like Joseph, okay, Joseph put stuff up in the barns, okay, during the 7 good years.
Come on now, Don.
During the 7 good years, put stuff up in the barns so that during the 7 famine years, he was able to feed a whole nation. So listen, folks, these things are going to happen. But if my life gets turned upside down because of a government shutdown, did I do what I needed to do ahead of the shutdown to be prepared for it? So here's what I'm saying, ladies and gentlemen, even if you weren't prepared, let this be your wake-up call, because I guarantee you, this too shall pass. This too shall pass. Whatever difficulty you're in now, don't worry about it. Because if you pray, don't worry. And if you worry, don't bother praying. So let's go ahead and get past this, even if you weren't prepared. But be prepared the next time, because there definitely will be a next time. Coffee, that's what I have to say about the government shutdown. What do you say?
All I say is amen. Amen, Don.
All right. So I love it when people ask questions. All right. And people think, well, Don, isn't that taking you off your subject? No. My subject is whatever you all want to talk about. Okay. I will change in a heartbeat if somebody has a different question about what it is that we're talking about. But I just wanted to show you all today. I got Steve in the house. Steve, how are you doing this morning?
Yeah, I'm good. Yourself?
I'm doing excellent, my brother. I'm doing excellent. All right. So let's start inviting some more folks in here. All right. We just had some new persons show up. Terry just came in. We have Bruce in the house. I've seen Bruce before. All right. And if you're not a member of the P.I.L.L Method house, go ahead and click P.I.L.L Method up above. Join the house. Follow me, because I'm going to start doing more shows during the day. More shows during the day. They won't be scheduled, but more shows during the day. So people said, Don, you talk to the morning crowd all the time, but there's people at night. There's people that are during the day that need to hear this information. We're going to start doing more of that. So follow the room, follow the house, and follow me, so that when we come on, you'll be notified. And if it's at a time you can listen, go ahead and come in and get that and get the information you're looking for. All right. So come to the stage, everybody. Raise your hand, come to the stage. I need to get more people on the stage. As I get more people on the stage, that just lets more people know that they can come in too. They see you and they're ready to go. All right. So folks, I got $623.05. The program stopped at 5 cents, saying, I want to show you. Now I'm going to go to an amortization schedule. All right. I'm going to go to an amortization schedule right here. All right. And to talk to you about why that is. Why that is. That's a $200,000 mortgage at 6%. All right. And I'm going to show you something you've probably never seen before. Why does the program stop at a certain amount for John and Rebecca Jones? Because the program is trying to save you more interest per dollar applied. Okay? More interest per dollar applied. So let me show you something here. Now, if you've been in my room before, you know that in the first year on this mortgage, we're going to take a look at cumulative principal and cumulative interest. John and Rebecca Jones, to pay their mortgage down by $2,456 and a penny. That's all the principal payments added up. 1, 2, 3, 4, all of these $200 payments. When they add them up for a year, it comes to $2,456 and a penny. They just paid their mortgage down by that amount. Okay. Oh, but that's not all. Every single month, the bank gets to charge them $1,000 in the first month and over $900 every month after that. Okay, for the first year. When you add up all the interest payments, it comes to $11,933.19. I just want to ask you, do you think that $11,900 is too much to ask from this family so that they can pay their loan down by $2,456? Do you think that's too much to ask? I mean, put it in the chat. Put it in the comments online. Do you guys think that's too much? Nearly $12,000, 12 grand, just to pay your loan down by $2,456.01. That's a total. That's a total of $14,000. They paid out over $14,000 in the first year on this mortgage, and all they get out of the deal is, well, we pay our loan down by $2,456. That's it. So, what if, now this is not how my program works. I'm just teaching you what happens with this amortization schedule and how easy it is to disrupt it. Okay. Here's my question. What if they had a little bit in the bank like John and Rebecca Jones? Could they pay this $2,456 and a penny all at once? Could they do it all at once instead of over 12 months? What would happen if they did? Okay, let me bring up my calculator here. Remember, they started out at $200,000. Uh-oh. Button stuck. 200,000. Okay? Got 200,000, and they paid their loan down by $2,456 and a penny. Now they did it over 12 months, though. They did it over 12 months. But let's just subtract the two. If they gave the bank this much money at one time, they could do that. There's no rule against it. So let's subtract 2,456 and a penny equals $197,543.99. That's the same thing that's here. Ladies and gentlemen, if they pay the bank that money up front, they could be paid down to right here in 1 month, couldn't they? And if they're paid down to there in 1 month, the next time the bank gets to charge them is here, and it gives them these two numbers. They made the bank skip this number and this number and this number where they couldn't get charged. They skipped out on all the interest payments between line 2 and line 12. Boom, gone. They don't have to pay that. They don't have to pay it. Their next time they're going to pay is line 13 on this schedule. Wow, look at that. So if they prepay that, then they don't have to pay the interest. Do you realize at this point you can now figure out how much interest you can save per dollar? but just by doing a little division. Now, I've never been a math scholar. I'm not saying that this is my strength. My strength is I look at this thing and I see the pictures and patterns because I have Asperger's. I'm on the autism spectrum. And when I look at this, I see the pictures and the patterns and saying, why are we doing it this way when all we have to do is do it a different way and save a ton of money? All right. So let's just do that. Let me get my calculator back on the screen. We're not going to pay this $11,933. So we do it $11,933.19 divided by 2456.01. That's what we prepaid. Okay. Divided by 2,456.01 equals 4.858. $4.86. For every dollar, John and Rebecca Jones are going to save $4.86 in interest for every dollar applied at this point. So let me ask you, if you gave me $1 and I gave you back $4.86, how many times would you guys do that? Deborah says, oh, all of this stuff is crazy. She says that amount of money that they're asking for is crazy amount of money. That's crazy money. So if you gave me $1 and I gave you back $4.86, how many times would you guys do that? How many times? What? How many times would you do that? Give me $1, I give you back $4.86.
Do that repeatedly.
Repeatedly, Michelle says. So I need you to know, because of the way that this system is set up, if you give the bank this $1 ahead of time, that makes it impossible for them to charge you $4.86. What happens if you give them $2? Then it's twice the amount of interest saved. $3, then it's 3 times. Listen, $4.86 per dollar. That's a pretty good return on your money, isn't it? Okay. Do you realize that if you multiply that by 100, that gives you your ROI, return on investment, which would be 486% return, nearly a 500% return on your money. You can't get that in the stock market. That's why I want to show you this on Sunday, how important it is for you to understand what the bank is doing here and what you can do about it to prevent this violence from coming home to you. All right. So now that's line 12. So I'm going to take a look at line 12. All right. Remember, it was $4.86, right? $4.86. I got to write that down for every dollar. So now I'm looking at line 24. You know, John and Rebecca Jones had over $5,000 in the bank. They had over $5,000 in their bank. So they didn't have to stop where the program said stop. They could have said, listen, I can afford to prepay $5,063.50. I can afford to prepay that ahead of time and knock off 24 months worth of mortgage payments I never have to make. And look at all this money, $23,714.90. $23,714.90. What? Is that what's happening? Do I see that today? Look at that, $23,000. So, which would be better? Prepay this one or prepay this one? Let's do the math. I want to show you, keep this in mind. Remember, it was $4.86 before. So if we take the 23,000, we don't have to pay 23,714.90 divided by 5,000 $63.50 equals 468. Listen, folks, before we had 486. Now we're only saving $4.68 per dollar. So let me ask you, if there was a way for you to save $4.86 per dollar, should you ever accept $4.68 in savings? You tell me. And folks, the mistakes we make with this thing because we don't understand it are a lot bigger than 20 cents difference per dollar. It's way bigger than that. So when the program asks you to do something, it says, I need you to optimize every single dollar right now. What is the most you can save with the least amount of money we can put on your debt right now? And it sets you up. It sets you up for the next time you need to put money on the debt. It sets you up for the next time you need to do it. So, folks, we've been here for an hour and a half. And I just showed you just a little bit, just a little taste of what it's like to use AI to help you to get out of debt in 1/3 the time and save a ton of interest. Save a ton of interest. Do I have any questions about what we've gone over so far? Because we're at the end of this. We're practically at the end of the show. So I'm taking questions. I'm taking comments at this time. Questions and comments. Anybody online or in Clubhouse? What do you got for me?
Hey, Don.
Yes.
My only comment is that you are so amazing, and I'm just so appreciative of you. Is this like the 3rd year that you've been doing this?
Well, I'd have to add it up. I think we're going into our 3rd year. All right, after November.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
After November, we're going into a 3rd year. This is actually show number 265.
Wow.
Sunday will be Sunday will be 266.
That's amazing. Thank you so much, Don, for just doing everything that you do to add value to the community at large. You're such a beacon of hope and a beacon of light. Guys, Don came all the way to Houston to add value to a nonprofit organization in the educational arena, and they still talk about him to this day about how amazing he was and just how much the students learned. And so, Don, just thank you. Thank you for being so amazing and just being such a great light to so many of us who want to live a life of freedom. I yield back to you, Don.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Coffee. See, Andrew.
Don, I second that. I thank you as well. I greatly appreciate you. And I'm going to continue to always be in your rooms and, enhance my learning palette. So I'm definitely going to be chiming in with you. Thank you so much.
And thank you, Michelle, for coming to the stage and supporting us. Ciandra just came to the stage. Ciandra, how are you doing?
Morning. How are you?
I am doing well. And this is real morning for you.
Yeah. Yes, it is.
So
every time I see your name, I pop in. I was like, I need to pop in real fast.
Did you have a question or comment this morning?
I have a question, but I might wait for, I think I'm going to call your assistance program today, actually, for my question.
Oh, okay. All right. You're going to call my assistant? Okay.
Well, not your assistant, but like the little program thing, because I don't want you being like, man, girl, I can answer that for you.
Well, listen, thank you for being here, and thank you for trusting us with your finances, because Ciandra is one of our greatest clients, so we appreciate you.
Yeah, I'll pay off a credit card today, and then in a couple of weeks, I'll pay off my van. So I'm happy about that.
Wow, that is amazing. You mean the one that you use for your business?
Yes.
Wow. How about that? Every time I hear a story like that, it just I just get so happy.
I know. Yeah, it keeps me on a budget too. So I look at my account, I'm like, man, how do I have all this money? And then I'm like, I'm going to go dump it later into other things. But I get excited and just like, I never would have thought it was possible, the amount that I've saved and, in general. So I'm super excited.
Well, thank you for that. So it's amazing how you can pay off credit cards, pay off the van, and still have plenty of money in the bank. How does that even work? Have you figured it out yet?
Wow. Budget.
uh,
Budget
oh,
in a sense. I don't budget like insanely. Like I said, about my coffee and stuff, but I have realized there was so much money that I was just throwing away down the drain when it could have, cut my costs on like interest and put things forth because I divide up how much I spent and just, I think it was like coffee, snacks and stuff. But in 1 week, I spent $200 on just getting like coffees and snacks at the gas station because I'm mobile from always stopping in. And I realized that amount that I'm spending, and that was a week, so was that 800 a month that I was just blowing on for, an everyday snack. And now I make either my own coffee or I'll go get a coffee as well, but I make sure I don't do it every day.
well, excellent for that. So if you're doing that, getting out of debt so fast, that means you're not going on any of the trips you used to go on. Is that true? Are you still traveling?
That's not true. No, that's not true. I just, well, I don't travel as crazy amount as I did right now, but I kind of pick and choose what I'm going to do because I would rather, if I can get my house, like I said, in there, I'm projected to 2.8. I've only had my house for 3 years. I started with you just a few months ago. I have a 30-year loan, and I can pay off, in 2.8 years right now, is where I'm projected. If I get so, yes, I do have. I still have my little money, and I have a little side money. Like if people give me tips, I just put that kind of like in a jar, so I kind of budget it there as well to say, all right, if you're going to do anything, this is what the money you have to do with it. So I do budget that. Like I have even in the cart, like my fund money. What am I going to spend for entertainment? You can put that in the budget as well.
Wow, wow, wow. So listen, I've been telling people this, and I think maybe they think that that's not true, that you can still live well, you can still travel, you can still have fun, you can still have fun money, and have plenty of money in the bank, and pay off credit cards and the van, and come to this program with 28 years left on your mortgage and pay it off in about 2. Now, our average is 7, but you're even beating our average. So thank you very much for coming in and sharing that with us, Sandra.
Yeah, no, thank you very much.
You are so welcome. Folks, do anybody else have any questions or comments about what's going on, what we're doing here, and how we're helping folks? Listen.
Hey Don, just really quick. I think that a lot of people may be apprehensive because they're thinking about programs like Dave Ramsey's, where you're basically poor till you pay off all of your responsibilities and you get to that place called independence and freedom. But guys, this is nothing like that. Don's program is designed for you to live while you free yourself. So don't get it confused. Don has been so many crazy programs that have been out for so many years that this is almost, your program is almost unbelievable because of how it's designed and how people can get themselves free in 7 years or less without having to live like a pauper, if you will, in the process. So just wanted to say that for the sake of the new people that we have that have never heard anything like this before, it's really real and it really works. So I yield back to you, Don.
Thank you so much for that, Coffee. I appreciate you. All right. So listen, folks, she's right. She's right. Sandra's right. You can live well if you can just let AI take help you, guide you like financial GPS. Now, we don't take control of your money. All right. Think of this as GPS for your money. We tell you where to turn. We tell you where to turn, but we don't grab the steering wheel. Okay. We're just going to make suggestions to you. You can follow the suggestions or not. All right. So think of it that way. We're going to get you the best route to zero debt and interest savings than any other program out there, because we focus on the interest cost. No other program does that. The avalanche method doesn't do it. The snowball method doesn't do it. If you are a fan of velocity banking, not even velocity banking takes a look at of managing your interest cost. All of these other programs work. They're just not efficient. You're going to spend more money in interest than you need to implement them. This is the only program out there that is guaranteed to save you the most amount of interest that's mathematically possible for you. And we give it to you in writing. So if you want to know more about it, let's go to ice10k.com, ice10k.com. And I'm going to put it on the screen now so that you can see it. ice10k.com. There it is. And that is my business card, my digital business card, ice10k.com. And then you scroll down past E.T. the hip hop preacher, the number one motivational speaker in the entire world. And you see what he says here, because we no longer had a mortgage. What? They used the P.I.L.L method to help them to get out of debt. Because we know, I'll play that video for you at the end. But click this button here, right underneath E.T. It says get a savings and earnings report. Uh-oh. It says get your free savings and earnings report. Coffee. If somebody wanted to know the month, day, and year they could be debt free, okay? The month, day, and year they could be debt free. Did you know they can get all that information for free? All they do is fill this out. Do step one, put this information in here, then the program, then click on yes, I want to save. That lets you into step two, put your mortgage, your student loans, your credit cards, everything in there. And if you want to know the month, day, and year you could be debt free, we will let you know and give that to you. Once you put your information in and you submit it, somebody from my team will give you a call. And once we give you a call, we're going to take a look at your numbers that you sent us, and we're going to verify each and everything that you sent us. And then we can put together for you an analysis of savings and earnings report, like I showed at the top of the show. If you came in late, watch the replay, you get to see a couple of reports that we will send over to you once you do that. If you want to implement that information, you can actually become a client like Sandra. All right. And we will take you step by step, not just with the technology, but with coaching as well. All right. You're going to have so much support. It's not even funny. It goes right along with this program. Now, some of you have heard some information that you really do like. And I'm telling you, I can't get to everybody. I would love it if we could grow our YouTube audience and more people see these videos, especially the one we're going to be showing on Sunday. You don't want to miss Sunday. All right. Especially that one. All right. So I need more eyes on this channel. I need more people subscribing to it. I mean, it's free. And it's the only information like this on the entire internet. No one else is talking about what we're talking about. Do you know why? Because I own the copyright. Anybody talks about this information, they got to get permission from me first. Okay? So that's what I'm talking about. So listen, what I need you all to understand is this. I still can't talk to everybody. Horace Jennings says, good morning from Virginia. We'll put that on the screen for you right now. Thank you, Horace, for being here. All right, let's put that up. Good morning to you, sir. All right. So do this for me. Ask as many people as you can to watch this channel, but I don't want you to have to do it for free. Here's what we're going to do. Do you see this button down there that says become an affiliate? Click that button and I'm going to show you what that means. If you put your name on where, go to ice10k.com, the link I have at the top of the page, put your name in, put your phone number in, put your email in, and just tell us how you want to get paid. You get somebody to watch these videos. All right. They watch the videos, and then you call them back and says, listen, do you want more information? And if they say yes, then I need you to go back to the ice10k.com and scroll down underneath my picture. And this button here says refer a friend. You put their information in here, their name, their phone number, their email, their zip code, and your name and number as the one who referred them, and give us any other information you think would be helpful so that we can help them. Once they become a client, if they have if they have at least $100,000 in debt, we will pay you $300. Boom, just like that. Send us a second one in the same month, we'll pay you $400 for that one. Send us a third one, we'll pay you $500 for that one. Send us a fourth one, we'll pay you $600 for that one if you can put them all in the same month. And if you can send us a fifth one in the same month, we'll pay you $1,200 for that one. Wow, wow, wow. You know, that's over $3,000. So how do you make between $300 and $3,000 a month? Just by sharing the YouTube channel and sending us this information? I mean, you do no selling. Watch the videos. If you like it, I'll fill this out and they'll contact you. Boom, just like that. We have people that are doing that already. All right. So now here's the last thing I need you all to know. We're going to go back to the card. I need you to look this button here. Buy my book. Get my book. This information is the only information on Amazon that talks about how to read and understand an amortization schedule. I can't get to everything on a 2-hour show. And not everybody watches all of my shows. Okay. So, but by reading the book and watching some of the shows, you get a better understanding of this. Now, there's some of you that are kind of on the fence. Do I do something that is so radical, so different? Nobody else is talking about this. So am I going to give this a try? Am I going to put my family in a situation where we have to do something new to get out of debt? All right. And live a great lifestyle while we're doing it. Well, read the book, watch the videos, read the book, watch the videos, and come up with the idea that, you know what, this is worth the try. It's at least worth getting the savings and earnings report. At least, at the very least, get the savings and earnings report and see, and then ask your questions. Because listen, our consultation is only $150. The consultation is $150, but that is satisfaction guaranteed. If you're not satisfied with the results after spending an hour with us in the consultation, just ask for your money back before the call ends, and I send it right back. You know, we don't want anybody that's dissatisfied on the team. We want everybody to be happy. So the information is either going to be valuable to you or it's not valuable to you. All right. And if you pay $150 for an appointment with us and it wasn't valuable to you, we'll send it right back. There is no risk here, ladies and gentlemen. None. Zero risk. Zero risk. So, Don, what if they become a client with you? We put it in writing that you have a lifetime guarantee with us in writing. The program has to work at all times. And if there's something ever happens with the program, give us an opportunity to fix it. And if we can't fix it, you get your money back. Well, Don, what if I pay off my house? Well, then what if you get a second house or a third house or a fourth house? I don't care if you're paying off your fifth house on our program. You've already saved $750,000 to $1 million in interest you never have to pay. You've already done that. And the program goes haywire and we can't fix it. You still get your money back because it's a lifetime guarantee. You have it in writing. Okay, go to our Better Business Bureau. We have an A+ rating with Better Business Bureau over the last 17, 18 years with 0 complaints. 0 complaints. That's what we're talking about today. So get the book. It is the only book on Amazon out of 33, 35 million titles that they have on Amazon right now. It is the only book that talks about how to read and understand an amortization schedule and how you can become a winner when it comes to borrowing money. Borrow money at a discount. I love borrowing money. I just don't love paying the bank 75% more interest than I need to pay. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's it for today. All right. So make sure that you're here on Sunday. Let me find my link. I'm going to put it in the chat, the one for Sunday. So you can see, let's go to YouTube. I'm doing this on a different screen. And we're going to get our link for Sunday. Boom. All right. All right. We're going to share that. Copy. All right. We're going to put that in the chat. Okay. There it is. Come on. And I'm trying to get it to paste here. There it is. All right, that should be Sunday's show there. And make sure you get ice10k.com because I'm getting ready to take my link off the top of the page and replace it with Sunday's show. All right, you don't want to miss that. All right, so we're going to take that out and put Sunday's show link at the top of the page. Update. All right. There it is. Modern mortgage lending is financial violence. Don't miss that show. So I want to thank everybody for being here. So Coffee Brown, before we get out of here, tell the folks what you do if you're still available.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Don. I add value in the publisher space. We specialize in anthology projects. I'm a certified master life coach, and our specialty is helping entrepreneurs, collaborators, and creatives to be able to produce content that not only generates them an additional income, but it adds value to the world from a global perspective. We just released a project about 2 weeks ago, and it's doing exceptionally well. We're a 11-time international best-selling publishing house. And if you want more information on what I do, how I do it, when I do it, and how I can be of value to you and how we can work together, just definitely click on my image and send me a DM over on Instagram. Please don't DM me on Clubhouse. Please DM me on Instagram so that we can connect and see how we can work together. Don, I appreciate you. Back to you.
Thank you so much. All right. I was going to get Ciandra to do this. She knew I was going to ask her, so she cut out. I don't think she likes talking on Clubhouse. I was going to listen, folks. Find Ciandra, and I talk to you about her amazing business of mobile pet grooming. Never heard of it before, but she is so awesome. She's blowing this thing up. So if you are in her area. All right. If you're in her area and you need pet grooming, she is the one to go to. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you for being here today. We're going to cut out now. Don't forget, next week is my anniversary. Next week is my anniversary. My wife and I will be in New York. And we are going to do the show on Wednesday, but Friday's show and Sunday show next week will be repeats. All right, we're gonna give you some good repeats, but there'll be repeats for Wednesday show and Friday show. I'm sorry, Friday show and Sunday show. We're gonna do Wednesday show. All right, because we're leaving Wednesday afternoon, and we're going to New York. I'm going to see a couple of shows, and see some friends there that we haven't seen and family. And it is our anniversary week, 22 years, October 7th, 22 years. All right.
Team Don, that's awesome. Congratulations. Please give your bride our love and respect. That's so awesome.
I shall do that. So listen, well, check out my Instagram, the P.I.L.L Method Instagram, and you'll see us at date night last night. So you can see who I'm talking about when I mention my bride. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to hear from E.T. the hip hop preacher right now, and what he had to say about the P.I.L.L method, and then we're going to be done for the day. I'm going to come back in just a few seconds after we watch the video and we say goodbye to everybody online. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for being here. And don't forget Sunday's show. Make sure you RSVP for Sunday's show. And let's hear from Dr. Eric Thomas right now.
Listen to me, y'all. But one of his mentees took us through one of their programs, and I paid off my mortgage. But guess what happened? My marriage went to a whole nother level. And you know why? Because my wife is a security freak. And even when I blew up, my wife would be like, oh, you blew up, but how long is you gonna keep making this kind of money? I was like, I don't know, forever. She's like, you sure? Because I'm gonna keep my license as a nurse just in case you don't. So when I paid the house off, my boy was like, you ain't gotta do that, you can do this. But when I paid the house off using that program, it took the stress level all the way down for my wife because we no longer had a mortgage. Does that make sense? That thing that was coming every month, that was getting on her nerves, we didn't have that no more. And so she was at rest.